Hotline Miami is and was a great game. I think we can all agree on that. So one's natural desire is to get more out of it, and then we got a sequel, which was alright. I mean, like, the story was good, but it wasn't the same, you know? So what are we to do as fans? Well, the only natural solution is to create mods. And today we're going to take a look at some of the most interesting mods, at least the mods that I was able to find. So to start off, I want to talk about a bit of a sadder entry, Midnight Animal. Now, this was a fan-made mod set in the future of Hotline Miami 2, which took place in New York. I mentioned this in my Hotline Miami 5 Facts video. I kind of briefly talked about it. Originally, it was a much darker, grim Hotline Miami clone. It looked artistically stylish, it had some new concepts, and I believe it had some original music, but don't quote me on that. Anyways, this concept was released to the public in a form of trailers, a bunch of promotional material, even a website came out. I think there was even a playable demo that came out for a little bit, but it was only like one level or so. But then as time came on, for some random reason, the creator decided to change the game to Midnight Animal, a story of love and forgetting or some shit. It became the first 100% weeaboo-fied Hotline Miami mod. So, due to this drastic change in art style and plot, some liked it more than before, some hated it, and some liked it just the same. Now, this led to the creator to take it off Steam and cancel the project entirely. He said this was due to feeling like he was making it just to appease people. He didn't really have a passion to make it anymore. The negativity from this change was too much, and as a result, he decided to retract himself publicly. Honestly, I can't blame the lad. I know the feeling all too well, with my whole change in content on YouTube. It is a real shame, though, to see any content creator give up due to hate. It happens to the best of us, and I can really sympathize with the guy, even if I didn't like the newer version of it. But it is always a shame to see such work go to waste. I did do a tad bit of research to see what the general feedback was from when people heard this. And from what I've seen, a lot of people seem to share a similar mindset. I browsed a lot of Steam discussion forums and general announcements and comments here and there, and overall it seems to be pretty somber. A lot of people seem disappointed in the fans who bombarded the creator with hate, or they're simply requesting an unreleased version because they just want to play the game. However, there are a few rather aggressive comments, but this is the internet. Did you really expect anything else? To be entirely honest with you, it is a bit of a sad story to see all these people who got overwhelmed with hate to the point where they just left. But this is the internet. You gotta grow that thick skin if you want to succeed. The next one is probably my favorite mod that's been shown to the public so far. Reddit user Wootinator has and is currently working on an open-world Hotline Miami mod. As of right now, it's not really much. It's a barren world with a few enterable buildings and with a few weapons here and there. However, the creator does have hopes on making this a much larger mod, with more items, smoother physics, and possibly online connectivity. My only kinda nitpick with this is that it doesn't feel like a Hotline Miami game, it more feels like an old-school GTA game. It's top-down, driving cars, open world, shooting. It technically is Hotline Miami, yeah, but it's more or less like a GTA game. Which isn't bad, per se. I'm not even sure why I said this was a complaint, but it's just a little different, that's all. As for looks, this mod is amazing. It kinda looks like a more pixelated, color-filled version of Vice City. There are some extremely beautiful lighting effects, and when you get into a vehicle, the radio turns on and starts playing that song we all know and love from Hotline Miami 1. The bullets are very block-like and travel extremely slow in my opinion. Right now, I think that's just a placeholder though, so don't think that the actual game will have giant blocks flying towards you. Maybe they will, but hopefully he puts in an actual bullet texture, who knows. However, I did do some research onto the progression of this project, and it seems right now the creator is taking a break from working on it. The most recent Reddit post I could find on the matter was posted 8 months ago. He said he was taking a break due to real-life reasons, so when he'll continue working on this project is up in the air. All I know is that he does plan on returning, but when he is available to, which I think is great. It shows that he wants to work on this project, but has some prior commitments to handle first. I'm personally a-okay with waiting for this mod, especially because it's so original and there's a pretty good reason for him to be doing other things. Real life is vastly more important than the internet, trust me. I haven't heard any ideas even similar to like an open world version of Hotline Miami that's like so freaking original. I am so pumped to play this, like you got no idea. Another mod is one that started out as a Flash game. It's called Super Hotline Miami. This is a mod based off Super Hot, but in the perspective of Hotline Miami. Kind of a brilliant idea if you ask me. I distinctly remember the official Hotline Miami Steam group posting something about this game long before the release of Hotline Miami 2. Now, in case you don't know what Superhot is, it's a shooter game where time only moves as you do. So essentially, in this game, everything is super slow until you start moving. So it puts a weird sort of spin on the fast-paced, don't think about it gameplay of Hotline Miami. Coupled with this original idea, it has its own unique music. It's actually really fun to play. Like, you'd be surprised. It's stylized to look like Superhot, but feels exactly how you expect a slow-mo variation of Hotline Miami to feel like. Another cool little thing about this mod is that it actually led to the creation of a full-fledged game called Shootout Inc. I haven't gotten to play this yet, but from what I've seen it looks pretty good. After all, it's just an extended version of the mod, so how bad could it be? This final mod was pretty popular for a while back in the day, HalfLife Miami. This is a Half-Life themed Hotline Miami reskin mod. It's a relatively small mod with only 8 levels, but at least it has its own custom soundtrack, which is awesome. I love games that are able to get their own music because it just adds a whole other level of It is rather interesting, with the only weapon being the gravity gun from Half-Life 2, so in order to kill enemies you must throw objects at them rather than beating their head in with a baseball bat. It's a relatively intriguing idea, but again, it feels kinda repetitive. Personally, I enjoyed this mod for a short while, but it felt like a weird spin-off rather than an extension of Hotline Miami. It's definitely worth the $0, and I highly recommend you check it out, but not something really jaw-dropping. It's kinda like, that was fun. At least from my opinion of it. Now, I've had this idea for an online multiplayer mod in Hotline Miami for quite some time. I've never really shared it with anyone because I don't want anyone to steal it, but then I realized, oh wait, I can't mod anyway, so what's the point? Basically, it'd be like a deathmatch type of game where the objective is to earn the most kills within a certain time limit. There could be a few game modes like free-for-all or elimination, but the kind I really want to talk about is Team Deathmatch. This would detail you spawning as the goons of a certain faction, like the Russian mobsters or the cops. Then at random, one player at a time would spawn in with a special ability of their choice. Generally like a mask in the game, so either Tony's one-hit punch or the Sun's dual machine guns, or anything like that. The best way to really describe this is it would be like a Hotline Miami version of Star Wars Battlefront. You play as the goons, but you have a chance of spawning in as special characters throughout the match. To make the game have a level of difficulty, each player's vision would be restricted to a 180-degree angle in front of them, which means if someone came up behind you, they'd have no way of knowing unless they actually turned around. But besides everything else in front of you, everything would be dark except for the layout of the building, like walls and doors. But everything else though, like players, weapons, all of that, would be hidden unless it's within sight lines of the player. Walls would also block the vision of the player, so if they were in a hallway, they could only see down that hallway and not the buildings in the hallway. This way stealth would be a viable option for all players, and it would add a sort of tension because you never really know 100% where the other team may be. I think it'd be really fun, but it'd be very hard to get servers, outlines, teams. It'd be very confusing how to do that, so if you're a professional modder out there, feel free to take that. Anyways, that concludes this collection of Hotline Miami mods that both have and have never existed. You done did it. Welcome to the end of the video. You're the real hero for sitting through that. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out more Hotline Miami related content on the internet. Doesn't have to be mine, but it could be if you want. Anyways, have a swell day. Peace out.